Esto te tengo que estar con el valor, no saben que saben que saben.
It's week 9 of the NFL, and the spotlight is on George Kittle, who's closing in on 1,000 yards receiving on the year. It's the 49ers and the Cowboys, and it's all just ahead on Madden NFL 25.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in week 9? And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. Now we'll see what the right arm of Dak Prescott has in store as the Dallas Cowboys offense sets up shop.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
First carry for Kenneth Gainwell. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. The numbers on the ground for Gainwell last week. 12 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown.
When a winning streak stretches this far, you start to wonder if a team is truly unstoppable. And here's a guy who's been very much the legs that have helped drive this team to wins week after week. And even when teams have keyed on him and tried to slow him down, he's still gotten the job done enough to avoid a loss. Talking with him in pregame, though, he thinks that this week could be his biggest week yet.
Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down. Now Dak on the option left. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down. So, Charles, this defense, they definitely know that they've got their hands full here, going up against a group that has won 7 straight. What's the key for them in this ball game?
Well, we asked their defensive coordinator that very question, and the response was, we have the mindset that they actually have to react to us, not the other way around. So it sounds to me like the plan is to do the attacking and not wait to see what they present to them.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. So opening drive, 3rd down, they complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route because it gets the ball in their hands pretty quickly. Just a couple of quick steps upfield, break towards the middle, the ball should be there, and then they can do some work afterwards.
You look at this Niner defense. They're in the spot statistically that you don't want to be in against the pass. Number 32 in the league, dead last.
And when you're getting ready to face the #1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so he didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Prescott from the gun. Prescott able to get down there at the end on the slide, and he has the first as well. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
Looking to throw, Prescott. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Straight ahead, it's Gainwell. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. 2nd and 4, they can still get a first down without scoring. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Here now a 3rd down and 8. Throwing, Prescott. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt.
And his kick is good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And leading them out, their signal caller. Now in his 4th season in the NFL.
And what a first half of the season he's had, leading the NFL in passing yards to this point. He's been a tough man to slow down. So this defense certainly has its work cut out for him.
Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10. at their own 28-yard line. Here's the Pro Bowler, Christian McCaffrey. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win. Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Purdy from the gun on 3rd down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Niners at 6-1 now through 7 weeks of the season. And they coming off their very first loss in the season, suffered a week ago.
So now we can all take that chasing the 1972 Dolphins and take it and throw it right out the window, right? But let's face it, not many teams talk about that or even have interest in it. All they want to do right now is bounce back after that loss.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Saw the linebacker Damone Clark coming through with a stop. You look at this Cowboy defense, and they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one because guess what? They're facing the number 1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them. The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Purdy. And that is incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On 4th down, the Niners trot out Mitch Wishnowski to punt the football. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 15. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense and their quarterback coming out for their 2nd drive. And the numbers have looked good this season. Case in point right here. He is up there among the NFL leaders in TD passes. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Just the 1 misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rank.
That's on the corner side, man.
They're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a first or a second seed come playoff time.
Here's Prescott. Got a man in the
Hey, what's up, bro? What's happening?
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Oh, yeah.
I respect both sides on that play. See, for him to be able to hold on to that football and the impressive tackle. Wow.
Did you notice the look between the two of them as they came off the ground? That look did say the word respect.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Okay.
Now comes the Cowboys punter. Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. And the win last week, punted 4 times as this one's away.
That's what it is now.
And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Purdy will set up to throw it here. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that V-series.
Purdy off the play fake. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So they take a decent shot, CD, and the flag comes out for pass interference.
Man, that's some bullshit.
DPI, as they like to call it in the business, right? And the farther you get downfield, the more frenetic things get, and the more calm and control you have to remain as a defender. That was a little bit of a slip there, and the penalty will go against him.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
2nd down and 4. Again, it's Kamara. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Alvin Kamara, his first touchdown on the year. And the 49ers have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic, and it sounds almost trite. But the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
How y'all with that?
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got 2 division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
They run behind center with Gainwell. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be second down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Eluding the pressure right. And he works
That's
his way
what I'm
past the
knocking
line of
here.
scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Near his goal line, here's Purdy. And looking for Kittle, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time. And you've got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Yeah. Oh, but it's on my birthday. Yeah. That's
Following the interception, here's Prescott. A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still
nah, Super ain't shit to do in fucking Jackson. You got to be somewhere else.
2nd and 4.
I know.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
So, I told us it was shit. We could have went, and stayed by y'all and went to Jackson that Sunday.
Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up.
What? Go ahead, do whatever you got for us. It was my birthday, but go ahead.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. Now Prescott. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Nick Bosa able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any
Jay State gonna be here, though.
They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves.
Of course, that's home for them, so of course they're gonna be there.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit.
I'm saying, Southern didn't make it out here this year.
From long distance. And that is no good. And that will keep this a 4-point game.
10 years in a row they came out here.
Anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down.
That's
They
just a
already
pile of bodies there, and that's when
I
you
already
kind of
know what
find
they
out who's a
facing
tough
in
guy,
J
right?
State shit.
Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a
Motherfuckers been
3-yard
off the
run,
chain these
but
last
for
couple of
both
years.
sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's 2nd and 7. Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Purdy. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Rice. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throws quickly, and he's got George Kittle. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Kamara will get into the end zone for a 49er touchdown. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Now Moody for the PAT. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown.
Dislocated ankle. Fuck. You might be out left to see.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. A time to get another look at this Cowboys offense. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. 2nd and 10. To throw is Prescott. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. That's to his running back, Gainwell. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. Now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. So here are the Niners to take over on offense. They were losers a week ago to the Bears, but they lead things here as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. They run it again with Kamara. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 49 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. We often poke a little fun at running backs past the age of 30. Oh, they're getting old, they can't run anymore. Well, he's showing past the age of 30, you can still have some nice runs like that.
You certainly can, and I think that we're starting to expand our definition of old running back. Because it used to be as soon as they hit 30, we want to get rid of these guys and go to the younger guys. But now that the guys are taking such great care of themselves, as you pointed out, you can still get explosive runs at any age.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's 2nd and 10. Purdy looking to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown 1 interception. Almost threw a 2nd one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The Niners on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Purdy now to throw. And that will be incomplete. It was Damone Clark. He was in the right spot to break that one up.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. This is taken at about the 14. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. The 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. They start the drive here with Gainwell. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
Just do it on me. Just do it on time to be a two.
Prescott to throw it. He'll find Gainwell out of the backfield. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Prescott now. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Now Purdy. Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. That just went out the window there with a pick.
Andy, do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Dallas offense set for this next drive. And they'll start with great field position, trying to get back into this one. It's 1st and 10 here. Now Prescott. Over the middle, complete. That's Ferguson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Prescott going right back to Ferguson. A gain of 8 there on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. They toss this out right to Gainwell. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Kenneth Gainwell with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys are back within a score.
And they can thank their defense for this one. They were set up with a short field following the turnover, but they took care of business as well, working their way down and finishing with a strong run into the end zone for their 1st touchdown of the game.
Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point. And And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was Kenneth Gainwell who finished it off with a touchdown run. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Niners set to take over on offense. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead. Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Purdy now to throw off the play action. Throw caught there by Willis. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Purdy. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So touchdowns on their first 2 drives, but looking like that won't be the case here.
Yeah, it looks like someone put their dukes up a little bit, doesn't it? Maybe decided to finally make a stand because those first 2 drives, they got run over. Now, finally, got their feet under them, got a little bit of balance. They're getting off the field.
And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. Throwing, Prescott. Here's a screen with Gainwell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Looking to throw, Prescott. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Come on, man.
This will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 27-yard line. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Here's Prescott. And his pass incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what?
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. And his kick here is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Well, the Niners going back on offense now late in this first half. And with a 1-point lead, you'd have to think they'll be looking just to get this to halftime. Purdy bootlegging it. It got his man complete. Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Connects with Kittle underneath. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 15 more yards there, and quickly another first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Throwing here, Purdy. His throw incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Purdy. And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now Prescott. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Yetur Gross-Matos just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL. We are officially into the second half of the season. We begin with two franchises who came into the NFL as expansion teams together way back in 1976. Seattle hosting Tampa Bay. And it's the Seahawks who are out in front in the second quarter. Kenneth Walker with a couple of touchdowns there. From there, we head east to Detroit to check on the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Denver Broncos. Jahmyr Gibbs, what a game. 3 touchdown runs in the victory. Lastly, we head to Southern California to check on the Rams at home at SoFi Stadium. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Rondale Moore, a touchdown reception. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way. Both these teams running through their final adjustments before they head out for the second half. Time for us to go back to Levi's Stadium as we'll hand it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Niners offense and Brock Purdy getting ready for this next possession. And as we transition into the second half of the season, he continues to put up big numbers on a consistent basis. Currently the NFL's leader in passing as we play here in the month of November. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Off the bootleg, Purdy. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Following the interception, here's Prescott. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now back to throw. Setting up the screen with Gainwell. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
The whole idea of the screen pass is to fool the defense in a big way and create a big play.
They weren't fooled.
Not 1 second, not 1 bit. How about them figuring it out, diagnosing it, and spilling it for lost yardage?
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. Kamara up the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And that's a nice gain by him on first down, picking up some key yardage.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Purdy.
And his throw is incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game,
They make these fucking quarterbacks throw the ball so bad. God damn it.
single stop like that could be a difference maker.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Purdy. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Connects with Kittle underneath. And Kittle going to have a 49ers first down as he'll take this down inside the 45.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Purdy will look to throw again here.
Gets this one to Juszczyk. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's 2nd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would pick.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there. You might have a smaller back.
That one a first down pickup of 8.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Right back to Juszczyk again. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
From the 29,
Purdy connects with Kittle underneath. And Kittle going to have a 49ers first down as he'll be brought down just outside the red zone. Mark him at the 21.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Operating from the gun, Purdy. That's complete out left to Ayuk. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Purdy from the gun on 3rd down. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And no field goal try here from the red zone. Offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. Purdy looking to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the 49ers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Purdy sets up to throw again. And he's got it. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Brandon Ayuk with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys are able to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Extra point try now for Moody. Oh, I was just about to say he had missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And taken right on the 30.
Illegal block for the ball. Return team.
No, they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Purdy now to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Again to the big tight end, George Kittle.
He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
They're just going to run a drive route here with their tight end. Let him get upfield about 10 yards and then move toward the middle of the field. This ball's right on target, and it results in a 1st down.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Second and 5.
Coming left is Kamara. He will push his way down to about the 14. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock. I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Cowboys about set to take over on offense. And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Prescott from the gun.
A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And a hard tackle there as he'll go down after a gain of about 5.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Back now here in Santa Clara. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8.
Prescott.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 22.
With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. Gainwell gets it on the option.
Sheds off the tackle.
47 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
And they'll go right back to Gainwell here on first down.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
And they'll stay on the ground with Gainwell again.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown.
Kenneth Gainwell.
His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Cowboys have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So there you go. They needed a big play, and they got one there on the touchdown run.
And that was a very important drive. Of course, they all are when you're trailing in the second half. But what I really liked, they didn't panic. They knew they still had time to run the football and keep playing their game.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey.
And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Niners offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
And his throw here is incomplete.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
The Niners on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down. Play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
42-yard punt, 6 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And now here come the Cowboys.
And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and now fall incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Prescott now.
A short one there taken in by Ferguson.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
To throw is Prescott.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Taking it about the 16. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return.
The 49ers offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. Now, a quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Trying the left side with Kamara. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Another carry here for the fullback, Juszczyk. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. But you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
Purdy. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 35. And that last throw not going to count for much in the grand scheme of things, but it does move him over 3,000 yards passing for the season. Now Purdy connects with Kittle underneath. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Again, it's Purdy to throw it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 18. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defense coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Back to throw. Purdy. Looking middle, and that's complete. And the Niners are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me.
That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown, 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the 49ers could be on their way to 7-1 as they add on to their lead. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Purdy and the Niner offense, they'll stay on the field. They'll try to go for 2 here. They'll try and throw for it. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
He finds his man, complete. It's Ferguson. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a 1st down to boot.
Here's Prescott. And fights him off.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll throw again. Prescott. Here's a screen with Gainwell. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Prescott to throw it. Now we're behind his man, incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Well, how about this? They'll change it at the line. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. The home team's offense and the veteran Alvin Kamara getting set for this next possession. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. 95 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now. And here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football. And that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
It's a 1st down following a gain of 3.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. Now this time they'll throw it. Here's Purdy. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. Just a gain of a couple there, and it's 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd learned to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Alvin Kamara with career touchdown number 94. He ties both Jerome Bettis and Priest Holmes on the all-time list. And the 49ers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Now Moody for the PAT.
And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, trailing here in the fourth quarter, and that personal foul, that only adds to the hole that they're currently standing in.
Yeah, absolutely a bad job of just losing your cool and letting your anger take over. Mistakes like that, not going to help you at this stage of the game.
And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Now Prescott. Washington's got it. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Throwing. Prescott. Trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Another one for his trophy case. I mean, it's rare enough for a lineman to have one interception. He had one last week and now back-to-back weeks.
It's absolutely amazing, isn't it, watching it happen? And how about the joy that you see in him back-to-back weeks, getting interceptions? He's going to be telling the defensive backs, I'm coming your way from now on, guys.
Yeah, take it easy. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. And you'd have to figure, he got the ball quite a bit last drive. You see the numbers, that now they're looking to chew some clock. He's going to get it even more here.
I would think so because they have momentum going in their direction. They moved the ball that way on their last drive, and you know they're trying to lock this game down. But also, don't be surprised if they mix in a few passes along the way as well, so they can't just totally key on him on this drive.
Interesting. We'll see if that happens. Either way, looking to hold this lead. Let's see if they can do it. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 147 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage. They are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up.
We about to move some.